Hello and welcome to episode 13 of our Timberborn Update 6 Emberpelts hard mode playthrough here in Cycle 19 Day 4, where we are on the verge of a drought. And we made some mistakes last time that are going to take a little bit of fiddling to, well, unmistake, if you will. We did end up flooding a decent portion of this, I guess we can call downstairs area, with some bad water, which resulted in pollution and a whole bunch of trees dying and all sorts of stuff like that. So, we have a couple different ways we can go about fixing this. Obviously, we have to replace the trees, but a bigger problem we have is that now a lot of our irrigation is contaminated. And a number of you have had different various thoughts on how to fix this. And I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to let this evaporate. Just get that over with. This here is a little bit deeper, so it's going to take some time, but I do think I do still want to let this evaporate, because even if you put more in, it's going to take so long to get it clean, and it's going to bug the crap out of me, so I'm just going to leave that alone. But right here, easy thing to do, get rid of a levee, and then get rid of a levee, and just flush it out completely, while we still have a little bit of water. That is the smart thing to do for this bit here. This will be empty soon enough. But, yeah. Should have done this a long time ago. Get it nice and cleared out. It looks like, yeah, there's still going to be a little bit here. So I will go ahead and get that out as well. Just to make sure this is nice and clean. And there you go. Wait, what's on the ground here? Oh, it's a barrel of maple syrup. I didn't even remember that that was a thing. That's pretty neat. But I digress. And here's how we're going to fix this. Quote unquote. Fix this. Sluices are our best friends. And we have the ability to go ahead and build some of those. So I'm going to end up putting anything that's directly accessible from the river here is going to get a sluice integrated into it. Just to keep it topped up so we have less beaver labor, less actual water from storage getting put in places. But yes, we are in a situation where this is going to actually be beneficial. But yeah, I kind of feel like I want to completely redo this anyway, but for right now we'll just leave it like it is. Just make it a whole lot easier to get everything else taken care of. Ideally, they'd have this finished, but they can't, because guess what? Guess what? This dam isn't even done yet. So that's another one of those things we have to wait for, in addition to this that we said we were going to put in. And then, yes, for the last several episodes, many of you have commented that they can't even reach the mine over here, and you are correct. The reason I hadn't fixed that yet was because I wasn't trying to make this into a completely insanely complicated thing. But we can, in fact, go ahead and just put a ladder there. That will enable us to get up here and finally take care of building the mine, which I guess I can go ahead and just leave like it is there. But hopefully, I don't know if this episode if we're going to get this up and running, but we are actually going to get it started, which has to count for something. Yeah, these guys are going to be they're going to be taking their sweet time getting this all taken care of. Thankfully, this thing's good to go, and now this is completely clean as well. So we can go back in and check on our things here. I'll just completely uncheck that, so this will fill up nice and clean again. And now, another thing a lot of people had something to say about, and yeah, you guys are right. You can't have this at 0%, so we did fix that, but we need to have a little bit more room for the water to go away when the time comes, and I do think this needs to be widened to 8. This is 8, and it seems to be doing okay, but this was a little bit high, a little bit scary for me when we had this diversion tested. So that is a thing we're going to be slowly working on fixing. I guess probably safe enough to go ahead and put that there like so. And a number of people calling for bad water diversion to be done at the edge of the map with a pressurized pipe. And yeah, okay. If you guys want to see that, we can do it, but that's so far down the list of things that it might be a couple episodes before we could realistically get to it. But I'm not going to say outright that I won't do it. Excuse me. So that's where we are on that. We also last episode started preparing this area for growing additional apple trees, which is a very very important thing as we continue to improve our food situation. Not that it's really bad right now. We have 12,000 saved up, but there is quite a lot going on. And I'm going to try not to get super super bogged down with. But yeah, we have half a day until there's no more water coming through. So the fact that this is taking this long is very concerning, because all the water is going to go away if we don't have this set up correctly, and that's going to cause some problems. So let's take a look. Yeah, the builders' huts no longer need to be deprioritized, because I'm pretty sure that's exactly why all of this is happening. We've got 6 incapacitated beavers. We do have beds, so they can rest up, but we definitely need to get stuff finished. So 24-hour working hours. Sorry about it, but I'm not that sorry about it. We got to get this finished. So that's going to be a thing we have to take care of. I've got this lumberjack flag here that, of course, cannot be built because they still can't get over here. And I really hope the beavers can get this taken care of, or else we're going to have a really, really bad time. But now that we do have, I think, 16 of them employed doing that, they should be able to make, you know, some sort of something out of it. And then, of course, we can continue doing stuff like cutting down the dead trees and planting new ones, so on, so forth. You know the drill. Now, our friend here in the forester can't reach up here, and there isn't anything else that currently has access to this area. So we can either build another forester, or we could just, you know, kind of let the trees spread, and they do seem to be kind of doing that already. So I'm just going to, for the sake of us not having to worry about it, I'm just going to let that happen, and we'll just check back in on that at some point later in time. Look at this. They still haven't finished this. Oh, man. What did I do? What did I do to deserve this? Well, the answer is probably a great many things. But yeah, come and put your money where your mouth is, beavers, because we're about to have a 15-day drought, and if we don't have any water here, we're not going to have that good of a time. So, please and thank you, get this finished. It doesn't matter if you're sleepy. You can have a nap when we're done here. Come on. Oh, please. One beaver. Come and finish this. All right, there you go. Now we can go back to 18 hours. They're gonna be absolutely spent though. So that's fine. That's fine. So yes, our automated pumps no longer work because these aren't turning. But remember what I said last episode or thereabouts, is that we're going to have eventually a fuel generator over here. Engine, whatever. As soon as we have pretty easy access to that. I know we've got... well, we have the science to research it, so there's not really any reason not to. But 1,000 HP, these are... Yeah, these are only 75 each, so I really don't need one of those. I got 6 times 75 is math, so yeah. Don't need 1,000. So maybe we'll just be fine with whatever else. But we can go ahead and cut down these dead trees and start the process of taking care of the rest of this. And we do have this sluice ready to go. I am going to say close above downstream depth of 0.95. It's never going to get that tall anyway. And then, of course, in the event of contamination, I'm just going to say close it. No reason not to. But now that this is a drought, this does get to be a little bit more of a problem here. Because I said I was going to put sluices in. Do I have the ability to actually just build one of these really quick? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a problem, but if we're going to do it, we need to do it now rather than later. Let's just say 0.7 and then 1% in the unlikely event that there is contamination that happens here. Then we also want to do this thing here. I know this is not the optimal shape, as many of you have pointed out. But again, we're at the point now where we just kind of need to have something. So that's an easy way to just keep that thing rolling. And we've got a lumberjack here who has no lumber to jack, so goodbye. Go do something else. And yeah, now the watch begins. For this, it's down to 0.46. It's probably going to, you know, take most of the rest of this drought to evaporate, but when it does, we'll be ready to refill it with the nice clean water. And it looks like this is not too far behind either. Because of the way everything is set up here, this isn't really in a situation for the sluices to be super beneficial, because this isn't going to be filled up nearly as high, I don't think. Or maybe it could later, but for right now, this is fine the way it is, and we're just gonna leave it as it wants to be there. That can go away. I don't think we need to have all of these paths down here, at least not for right now. I'd much rather have the trees. Remember, these are apple trees that we're planting for the purpose of, well, growing apples. So take that path away, and that gives us several more apple trees to plant here. We actually have a pretty good range over all the way over here. Wow. All right. That's pretty nice. We'll just have to let these guys do what they're going to do. They're not marked for cutting. And these guys, as they get cut down, can be removed from the whole marked for cutting thing. I guess I can cut down these as well. Get that taken care of. And unfortunately, I don't have really a very good place to put a forester to replant these over here. But since we don't have bad water, ideally, ever coming back through here, what I can go ahead and do is I can remove all of this mess. And I've got a space right up here where I can put a forester. As long as I can put something somewhere in a spot where I can still get past, which I guess for our purposes here is going to make the most sense to do one of those numbers. Let's align the door appropriately. It's not going to stay here forever, but it is going to be whatever. Yep, that was bugging me too, I know. So that's taken care of. So I don't want to replace the tapper shack with the forester again. This just seems kind of pointless, but it's fine. Let them do what they got to do. Looks like we're pretty full on logs as well. I know we've got this large storage here, underground pile, but that's very full, and we're not really using the logs that much. So we have 11 days, and I know I've talked about this a little bit before, but I think it's about time. Well, first of all, they have to have this complete. It's about time that we get them to finish all of this stuff here. You know what? We have the technology. Might as well go ahead, go around this way. And there is a little slope here. But I want to dam this up. And because of the way that this is, the terrain is a little challenging here. We're going to have to be putting in some kind of weird stuff here, if that makes sense. So I kind of don't want to put sluices down at the bottom of this, just so that we can have a decent amount of water. But I also recognize that we're going to kind of need to have those. So we actually have these, I guess we can call them teeth here. That would be a decent opportunity for us to actually go ahead and put in some sluices. Just 3 next to each other, right, that with one piece in the middle. And I know it's not going to let all of the volume of this thing through. Man, this is far over here. But, you know, it'll help. It'll help. And this will backfill, and then the rest can come over the top. So, uncheck that. If there is ever contamination, I really hope there isn't ever any contamination after all this. But you can never, ever be too careful. So, I'll put that in there. Get these guys set up like so, and then this goes right the way across here. I know we don't need them in this bit there, but I think that's going to be fine. Now, we take a look at the height of this, compared to the height of other places, and this is just about as high as this can go, unless we did other stuff here. And there's, I think, yeah, there's a little bit of water that can come out this backside here, but I think it's gonna be fine. So, in the interest of creating some sort of visually pleasing thing, I'm gonna take these two bits here and replace them with dams. Let's also not forget, we have the flat top floodgates that I haven't ever used. I just don't know, I don't know that this is the best spot to do that. Probably isn't going to matter. But I think, you know, you got 3 entire empty blocks here, and then you have these 2. We might need to put a little bit more in, but for right now this should be okay. We'll just have to make sure that the water doesn't get into the mine, which is why we're doing this the way that we are. Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue at all. We're just going to have to come over here and kind of plug this up a little bit. And I know there's a little bit on this side as well. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens as we get to that point. We do have the construction guidelines that we can play with, but the range on them isn't really long enough for us to get a good idea of what's going to happen to water that comes out here versus going all the way down here. So I place this on top of this guy right here. I can't move the mouse or else it goes away. Yeah, this just is not. This is not inspiring confidence. So, just because I know people are going to ask, I figured we'd check that out and demonstrate why that isn't exactly going to work for us here. So, what's next? What we have to do is we have to have access to build all of this stuff. So if I take a 6x bridge here, this is not going to be exactly the same height. But if I come in and do a couple of platforms here and here, and then I do the 6x there, and then I do another one here, then we can just build the bridges and they can build the entire thing all at once. Nice and quickly. Very convenient. Hook it up to a path, and there you go. Obviously, the mine is a priority, but, you know, I think it would be cool if this was in place, even if it's not a perfect design or whatever. It would be nice to have this finished, or at least partially finished, before the drought is over. Plus, it's just, you know, it's fun to make progress on big projects like that. Why have we stopped here? We should not be out of logs. That's a problem. Or we don't have any. Oh. Okay. So we have a beaver shortage. That's what's happened. Let's take this out of turbo speed here. Yeah, we gotta build more beaver storage. So, tenement lodges. I think I might want to save for building kind of over here in the cliffside. So I know you yearn for them, but sometimes you just got to keep on yearning. So I'm gonna build some more of these guys here, make our little apartment complex thing. And what I'm gonna do is we're not gonna have all of these get populated all at the same time. We're going to end up also using what was, I thought, a pretty good suggestion from some of you guys in the comments in previous videos. We're going to use one of these smaller lodges to kind of act as a bridge for that, if that makes sense. So I'm going to put that guy there. The idea being we just kind of incrementally increase, instead of just 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, whatever, then we have 3 here. That then this can be paused, assuming I remember to keep up with it. This can be paused, and then another one of these can be unpaused, so that you don't have a ton of them all at the same exact time. But yeah, we are decidedly very, very low on beavers, because I put them all into building, which means they are no longer hauling things. So bricks. Oh, you know what? We actually aren't making bricks because somebody didn't do that. And I was going to fix it, so you know the drill. But I'm going to have to go ahead and just say, you know what? This builder's hut and that builder's hut are no longer going to have everybody working there because we absolutely have to have some hauling beavers. And I don't think that we have any still. Yeah, see, none of this stuff is working. None of it's working. Ah! I don't have enough beavers. Not enough beavers. Who can I take away from? Well, I guess if these aren't, they're not powered. We have 13,000 food anyway, so I'm gonna just say, you know what? What a great sound. The squashers are gonna be paused for a little bit, just so we can get the hauling posts actually hauling again. Okay, this can get dynamited. That was always supposed to be a thing. Probably see... Oh, I haven't even attached this to anything, of course. I know. We're trying. We're doing our best. This, I do think, can be deprioritized, even though we are building it. I need to get that in place, and I need to get this in place, although arguably this is probably a little bit more important at this point. Because, oh, this isn't even high enough to get... This isn't even high enough to get water to, you know, actually back up to here. Well, that's fine. We'll just deprioritize that. Can I shave any more jobs? I mean, none of this stuff is powered, so it really doesn't matter. But I am very, very surprised I did not think of that before. Well, no matter. We got to get some more beavers in here, so I'm going to go ahead and say that house... Oh, we already have empty beds anyway. Wait, what? How did that happen? Well, how do we have so many beavers that aren't, oh, something's up here. Something's up here, because I didn't build any other housing. So maybe it's, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Alright, so they're going to at least probably finish the ladders, and that's fine. Put it back on triple speed, who cares? It's going to be fine. Don't need to worry about it. Something else was mentioned in the comments. This was never fixed, so we do have to return to Beaverburg 23. And the enter key never works for this dialog box, but I always try it. Okay, so that's fixed. That's a nice thing to not have to worry about anymore. And it's funny because I'm sitting here looking at the notes from the comments, and a lot of you wanted to have stuff fixed with the food production in terms of having additional presses, which we did kind of do here, but honestly we probably need at least 2 for everything, and maybe for some of them even 3. But you know how it goes. You know how it goes. They sure are taking their sweet time to build this stuff. So I think it's going to be in our best interest. How much water is actually in this? Oh, that thing's full. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna pause that. We have to remember that it's paused. But I'm gonna pause these two. We get 2 more beavers. That's already paused. This one, yeah, I can uncheck that, and that's fine. So that should be operating normally. Once this gets up to 0.9, then that will... Yep, there it goes. That will pause. Down to 0.13. We're almost there. You're getting there. What do you mean this isn't connected? Okay. Well, that explains why that was never actually handled or taken care of at all. Alright. Now somebody... Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Making progress on the stairs, and then that will get put in place. And I am... oh, yay. Cool. That's done. Good. So number 8 will be perfect there. And this will, yeah, that'll take care of that. Hopefully pretty nicely. I think the amount of fall off here should be fine. Don't think we really need to be that worried about it. Okay, this has gotten quite small in terms of scrap metal, so I'm going to take away 3 of those. Because each one of these ruins can only ever have 1 beaver at a time coming into them anyway, so that gives us a couple more jobs back. How are we doing over here? Okay, so now I still have 14 empty things. I know we just built it. We were complaining about having not enough beavers, but this is exactly why. This is exactly why we're doing this way, because we don't want to have a bunch of children all at the same time, because then you have death waves, and then you're like, oh, why don't I have enough beavers? So, exactly the reason why we've got this this triple lodge here. Kind of being a little intermediary until the population stabilizes a little bit. All in a day's work. So, outside of that, obviously we still have a tremendous need to increase the quantities of production of some things here. And apples have actually gotten a lot more. And we're growing more. Word salad, love it. That's fine. These guys are, I guess, not building this anymore? I didn't prioritize this, did I? I don't think so. And of course, it would not be one of these construction projects without me forgetting that I need to have storage for logs over here. So, go ahead and build one of these again, just so this goes a little bit quicker. I'm not going to worry about the planks or the metal or anything, but that'll help. We still have 13,000 food. We're doing okay. Even though we now have enough stuff to run engines, so the beavers aren't actually unemployed. But, okay, I can turn these back on. That works. This guy does not have a recipe set. This one is making beet and radish juice, in case you were curious. And we're making bricks that we need to do some of this other stuff, like the mine, which currently has no bricks, but it's also deprioritized, so I guess that's okay. This, I do not imagine, will be finished in any degree of quickness, which is fine, I suppose. Everything else just slowly going. Yeah, if we wanted this to be any taller, we'd have to have this entire thing just completely taken care of there. But I think this is, at the very least, going to be mostly helpful, even if it doesn't end up causing any problems up here. Hey, this is dry now. You know what that means. Time to remove that. And that can get back to work dumping. And there we go. Problem solved. In a slightly okay manner. Okay, so I see one free bed. They're about to finish this, which means I do have to pause that. But as soon as we have no free beds, I'm going to pause this. Actually, I'll just go ahead and do that now. So now we only have 7 free beds. See, I told you this worked. Kind of. It's fine. It's just a thing. I know at some point we do have to dam this up as well. That was my goal. But I do not think currently that is a wise choice, because we have a lot of other stuff we got to take care of. So let's unmark the rest of these replanted trees for cutting. And then just kind of keep tabs on this as we continue going around. We don't need to have contamination barriers on the rest of this, so I think... Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is just here to be a contamination barrier. Yeah, that's what's underneath. But you can't grow anything there anyway, so... We'll just go ahead and get rid of all of these. Get these planted with perfect, beautiful, flawless apple trees. And then just keep on keeping on. There's not really that much of a reason to get rid of this, because this wouldn't be plantable anyway unless we wanted to have the path go over the river again. But I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. Just continuing to do what we've got to do. I don't see a lot of wheat flour or cornmeal, so I wonder if that's a... If that's an issue if we just don't have storage for stuff. Oh, we literally don't. Yeah, remember what I said I was going to do that, and then I didn't do it? Yeah, good job. Yeah, see, we've got to have storage for that. The easy thing to do is just double stack these. And probably what we need to do. So I'm going to do 2 in the middle while we still have the opportunity to make something look kind of nice. And I guess we could do wheat flour and we can do cornmeal. Although I probably should have checked which ones these actually use that. Wheat flour and cornmeal. And wheat flour here. I guess it doesn't matter. It's close enough. But we are going to have access with ladders, and I know these are here. It's probably honestly easiest just to continue this going up the side and then have regular old platforms here. So I guess we can do that. Just keep it nice and simple. I know they're not going to finish that in any degree of quickness. Okay, so we got 2 empty beds. I'm going to let those get filled up before I unpause anything else. Hey, look, they're making progress. And of course, metal blocks and planks are the slow thing to get built because I don't have storage for them up here. But we're still making progress, and all of this water is gone. Very strange that that would disappear so quickly, because we're not pumping out of it because there was no power here. That was only 14 days, really? Well, we have enough going here where I don't think that's an issue. Seem to be doing just fine. Get the rest of these taken care of here. Very good. Oh, there's the one tree right there that dies in 7 days. 11 days, sorry. That's a different thing. So it looks like, yep, there we go, getting those pieces in. Nice and evenly there. Kind of. Alright, did they put in this sluice here? They did not, but they've started. Alright, so it looks like that's actually going to be finished pretty quickly, which is nice. And they even started building this, which is neat. We probably don't really need to have this here, but it's fine. I'm not really that worried about it. As long as we don't flood the downstairs again. That would be nice. Would be very nice not to have to worry about that. So I think since we have the opportunity, I am going to go ahead, and only a couple trees been built here. I'm going to go ahead and just blast this bit off. Just so it's nice and straight on this side, help the flow a little bit. Maybe a little bit less backing up, hopefully. We'll see what happens. 0.2 days. Didn't finish this, but the bottom one's almost done. I know they're trying to build this as well. They can't reach anything else until that's taken care of. Well, the idea is that we have enough beavers to do all this stuff, so that's the way it goes. Cycle 20, here we go. I do think I want to speed that up, though, because we know how short these temperate seasons can be, and I'd like to store more water here. Alright, so now it's time, once again, to get this flowing again. I think this shouldn't really be an issue at all, but you never know. Well, this is still empty, so I guess that's fine. They're still waiting on some plank to come in through here. Everything else looking okay, looking okay. Still 3 empty beds, but we're making progress. Yeah, I think the time is now to get this other suspension bridge built in here. Because pretty much everything else that's actually going to hold water is going to depend on that. How are we looking here? Obviously, this is still coming through, but that's fine. It's okay. Not the end of the world. In fact, it might even be better if we don't want to have a flood. These are automatically open because they're only going to close when there's a contamination. But, you know what? I may have... I may have been a little short-sighted with how how this is set up. Because these are basically never going to... Alright, we're going to take this off at triple speed because it does tend to flood when you have it on the fast ones. These are never going to be able to shut. Pretty much ever. So that does kind of defeat the purpose. I know at least a couple of you have realized what I've done here. So we are going to have to blast this down. Because you can't attach stream gauges to these guys. For whatever reason. That's just what it is. The downstream depth only goes down to whatever the land is below it. So I'd have to put in a second level here for that to be a thing. Or I just blast it out. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Things continue to improve very slowly. Very slowly. Let's go ahead and get that out of there. Yeah, I feel like, even though there hasn't been that much specifically that we've done so far today, still a good thing. They're making progress on the suspension bridge. Did they finish this? No, and I guess that's okay. It's fine. Everything else doing reasonably well. Just put these guys back on turbo speed and say, yeah, why not? Yeah, because now we got, we got water going through this way. Probably the correct thing to do here is to block this off here, and then remove these blockages here. Or we could just say, you know what, we're going to come over here and then close this in, but that's probably not a today thing. Probably not. Alright, so this needs to get done. Looks like that's what they're going to start doing soon. I don't know when we're going to get our drought or bad tide warning, but hopefully we can get everything else taken care of. Alright. Population still very slowly increasing. We've got some more stuff we can put on top of here. Now that this is a 5-wide area, that's going to fit some stuff like exercise plazas, although this isn't really going to look that good, and dance halls. So we do have the option. We do have the option to kind of have these overhang a little bit, or we can make this a little bit bigger, or we can just decide, you know what, that would look really stupid and we should do something else. We always have the option. So I'm going to go ahead and open this lodge up so we get a couple more beds available. And then we'll, of course, keep on keeping on with all of that. Construction continues. Looks like they are waiting on planks. But that shouldn't take too much longer. We do still have at least 3 full days before the drought or bad tide comes in. So making this slowly go up is probably still the right choice. But let's take a look at our food stuff. We're up to 14,000, which is great. In terms of raw food, we have a lot of beets, which is good. Corn is increasing. Canola seeds, even though we have 1,100 canola oil, the canola seeds are still pretty much out. So I know we have to have more of those. And the way that we have this set up is not really ideal here. I'm not really going to be losing any sleep over it. But the wheat situation, I don't think this is enough. Because I got 16 wheat flour and no wheat. No wheat to grind into flour. So we are going to have to plant more wheat, and I was kind of hoping that I didn't have to use all of this space for that, but you know how it goes. Get these beets out of here, we'll expand this wheat. And then I guess, since we do have so many beets, probably isn't going to hurt for us to just take away a couple more rows of this. Make this whole thing wheat, including all of this here, just to get that planted ahead of time. And probably, before too long, we want to get some more canola planted. But like I said, 1,100 canola oil, that's pretty alright. But we want to keep an eye on this. If we're ever completely out of canola seeds for an extended period of time, then we know there's problems. And this campfire here we probably don't need to have, but I guess it's okay. Alright. What are we... Okay, we're waiting on this. That's fine. Slowly getting more and more water up here. That's good. That'll help keep things situated a little bit more. But yeah, like I said a couple episodes ago, somebody left a comment asking why I did compact water wheels instead of engines, and, well, that's because that's what we had. Of course, that's not going to allow these to run during a drought or a bad tide now that we've diverted. So, we are going to replace these with possibly more water pumps, but honestly, we haven't really needed to have additional water storage. But before too long, these will get replaced. Oh, hey, we're flooding. Why is that happening? Okay, drought in 3 days. I guess the flooding was just due to how this has started overflowing again. Yeah, that's actually fine. Okay. Things still looking good. Still looking pretty good. Once they finish this, I do think... this still hasn't been done, but I guess that's fine. I do think the next big project quote-unquote, should be to just completely levy this off. And then this over here as well. And we'll just have a giant lake For no reason. No reason other than to just have a giant lake. And it can evaporate, that's fine. But we'll get there when we get there. They can't reach it, I know. I know they can't reach it. That's on purpose. We'll get it taken care of. Don't worry. We have the ability to do these things. Still 3 empty beds. We got 12 kids. Out of 100 adult beavers, having 11 children in addition to that, that's pretty good. It's a lot better than having 20 compared to 75. A much more favorable ratio for employment purposes. Yeah, I got these guys taken out there. See, I told you this was going to work. Just, you know, takes a little bit of time. We do need to get the mine finished, though, so once this is taken care of, which is just about done, I'll put this mine back on normal priority, because I really do want to have that up and running before the end of this episode, so we can say that we did that. And then next thing after that is we've got to figure out where we're going to put all of our different supply things for this. Now, the geography of this crater here, not really conducive to putting in storages without us doing overhangs or some sort of other nonsense, which we can definitely do. We can bury the mine if we want. I don't think that's going to be an issue. But the stuff that goes into it, we're going to have to put a little bit of thought into. I think what's going to have to happen, depending on how we want to do this, I know I can, in this specific area here, I know I can get away with building this. Then we can put in something there, and that will hold a medium warehouse, which usually is fine for the purposes of doing this. And then what we're going to want to do here as well, just to keep things on the same level without getting too crazy insane, is to put in those overhangs there, and then put another one here. As a reminder, the mine is a little different from the Iron Teeth in that it does not take the treated planks. It takes bricks, regular planks, and gears to build, and then the actual recipe itself is gears, bricks, and dynamite. And gears and dynamite go in the normal warehouse, and guess what? Bricks do also, so there's not going to be one of those things like we typically run into with the Iron Teeth where we have to squeeze in a 3x3 something. So, this is going to end up being a little bit better in terms of storage considerations. And when we go ahead and do this, all I have to do on the back side here is put in, I guess, one of these, because now I've got a 3x3 space, and this is going to be nicely hidden, and that can be for scrap metal. Very, very, very easy to get to. And all we've got to do is just replace these things here with a little bit of a reconfiguration of the ladders to make sure that everything is a nice, short, vertical trip. Just like that. And we can obviously continue to stack the stuff as we get there. But I figured that would be... Oh, okay, that's the wrong one. That's the wrong thing there. Let's put in... Oh, you know what? You know what? That might not be the smartest way to do this. Well, we got time. 14 days. 14-day drought. 14 days. How do I want to go about... I guess I could just unlock the triple platform. It's not really that big of a deal. Just get that there, and of course that's going to have to be a ladder. Why didn't you make it a staircase? I just like ladders. Ladders are fun. It also allows us to get to the side here. But yes, that is what we're going to be working with here. We'll just have to make sure we have everything set correctly, which is going to be scrap metal as a supply, and then the rest of this doesn't really matter. It just has to be things that will... you know what? Okay, I thought I'd made a huge mistake again, because I misremembered what was going where. No. We're good. We're good. We're gonna be okay. But they did finish this, which is great. Except it's still letting water out and everything. So, as much as I love this, I am going to go ahead and close it, so that we don't have a tremendous... Okay, well, there's hardly anything left anyway. We don't completely waste all of our bounty from before. But this is done. Yay. That's good. These guys have nothing else to do, so away you go. And now I've got unemployed beavers. Wow, what a concept, huh? That never happens. So now everybody's looking good. And there's even still water here, even though we haven't built any of this mess. All right, so now what we get to do is we get to utilize our path that's already in here. We already have that. We can start building this nonsense. Get them all situated. Just build this. And we have the logs, so that shouldn't be a problem. Take all this away, and oh yes, I can finally get rid of all of these things. Nice resources to come back, and we'll get some additional space to plant trees. And, you know, not that we really need it, but it is nice to have more space. And if this is going to retain water, then that's even better. Love to see that. Look at all these. Oh, I forgot. I forgot they don't like water. Well, this water is going to be gone. How could you forget they don't have water? That's like the whole thing. Look, I know. It's fine. It's fine. Hey, look, it's gone. Problem solved. Just a little bit of temporary misery, we'll call it. But you might be asking, how do we keep this filled? And the answer to that question is we just have to put in a couple of sluice gates right here. I do like these kind of staggered like this. I think it looks pretty cool. So if I do 5 like that, 5 completely empty blocks, that's going to give us how many edges? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, well, 10. Duh. Which, unless this is putting out more than 20, which is entirely possible, as I said in the comments last time. You know what? Actually, let's check it. 2, 4, so we're at 6. Total of 11. Total of 17. I love doing math. No, I don't. Okay, yeah, so this is already 22. That's already 26. And that's already 28. Okay, so I don't remember what your name was, but whoever it was in the comments that said I thought it was 28, you are correct. And I was wrong, so business as usual. I need to have more more of these sluices in place. So that adds another one there. Obviously, that's not going to do anything. But I will put that in that way. And then, you know, then we'll just let this be a thing. Because I also need to blast this up. Wait a second. All right, no, pause. We don't need all of the... We don't need all of this. All of that. We don't need that to be able to go down here. Because our only objective is to keep this full. There's no water leaving this way. So, you know what? Oh, see, this is why people get frustrated with me after they watch enough of my videos, because I never learn. Yeah, this oh, it's fine. It's fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever. Yeah, we're just yeah. Just get that out of there. All right. So, staircase time. That can go there. And then we have access to all this. And I can remove all of these blockages. We don't need these anymore. I don't know why the game is still paused. I think I do have to do each of these manually for whatever that's worth. But you know how it goes. We got enough stuff getting built right now that I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem. I am going to go ahead and say, you know what? We don't need to have probably any more than, honestly, 1, but 2 will always look better. Keep this nice and full. Because if we can kind of mitigate the flow through here, the extra waste will spill off the back, and yeah, okay, whatever, that's fine. But we do need to create the ability for these to be closed correctly. I know we're not going to get quite there, but we do need to get at least below the sluices. blocked out accordingly. This also needs to go away. We're just getting all of our stuff back. Get it all back. Put in a staircase. Overwhelm the builders. You know the drill. Just do like the most obtuse nonsense possible. Just because we can. And I think to build down here, if we want to be really dumb about this, which, you know, honestly should never be the objective, but sometimes that's just how it works. Put in, this should allow me to do what I want to do. Yeah, because I have to blast this out in front as well. This might as well just be whatever it's going to be. We'll get it built. We'll get it built. Actually, you know what? This is dumb. It's dumb. I can't do that way. It's going to make so much more sense materials-wise to just say, you know what? Have a ladder. Have a ladder. Just make this a little bit quicker. There we go. All right. So these trees are going to die in 5 days, which is unfortunate because wait, this is still paused. Okay, well that was actually my fault for manually pausing all of these dumps without automating them. All right. I'm going to go ahead and swap those. We get a couple more beavers born here. I know we still have unemployed beavers. It won't be that way forever. Wow, they did this quick. They did that quite quick. You know what this reminds me of is the Update 4 Folktales playthrough on Thousand Islands, where we were always sending beavers off to the edge of the map to do something like this. Hey, but look at this. We've got storage for cornmeal and wheat flour. And we still have 800 some corn, but we don't have a lot of wheat. Oh, that's right. I was going to plant this here as well. Okay. So that's going to help. The canola has remained relatively stable. Even though it's not out, it is still pretty low, but these numbers have remained high. So I'm confident that that's doing okay. So now these guys are going to take care of all of this mess. We probably don't need to plant any more corn, which is nice. Just have to decide what I want to do with the rest of my space over here. Do I want to plant additional canola? I guess that's probably not the worst thing to grow over here. Just put a little bit of that right there, so we have it. Again, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal, but we shall see what happens. This is all completely done, so this will be nice and full if they can get this taken care of. We just have to get the stairs here built. I think they're trying to finish the mine, which you know what? I remembered that I was going to do something about that. Now they're working on all this stuff. And I do have log storage here, which is a little out of the way, probably still pretty helpful. Brick storage. Brick storage we have here that's actually already built. So as soon as this set of ladders is complete, then that'll actually end up being a big asset because bricks get used for building on this, and that's what we're missing the most of. Gears as well, and logs. The only issue is the planks. And you know what? We actually don't have enough planks. We do not have enough planks to sustain this project. And this has been stopped. Why is that? It's because it's running on... Aha! I bite myself in the you-know-what again. So I guess I gotta switch this back to charcoal. We have fuel. Okay, where's... Oh, the fuel's up here. I just need to... Honestly. Do I have the materials to build this? I do. Alright, liquid fuel time. See, we're solving so many problems. So many problems. Let's come pick up your bits here. Get these things out of the way. And I think we need to have another builder's hut as well. And since it doesn't really matter where these go, I'm just going to pop it up here, make that a priority. But yeah, I need these guys to come get their stuff because I'm not going to send anybody behind this to grab it. That's for sure. How are things looking? Okay, good. This isn't dry anymore. They're still not getting into this because I guess they're waiting on labor to finish that. Alright, come on, ladder. Get that thing finished, and then we can have all the bricks and all the gears and everything over here. It's going to be like a self-building thing. And they haven't finished that either. I mean, not really surprised. We have a tremendous lack of builders compared to what we probably should be doing. At least I've got the, what's this called? Charcoal. At least I've got that. But, you know, it's one of those things we're going to eventually do correctly. Maybe. Alright, everybody's favorite thing. Compressing all of our nonsense onto the paths. Alright, and now the liquid fuel goes in. That gets built. Yeah, it actually probably does have to be a priority. Because I have to be able to make planks, and this is the only, that's the only option I got there. We do, just to keep you guys informed, do have the option of putting in 2 large lumber mills instead of these 3 smaller ones. So those combined, every 2/3 of an hour would give us 2 planks versus 3 of these every 1/3 of an hour. No, not 1/3 of an hour. 1 and 1/3 of an hour give us 3 planks. So a pretty remarkable increase in efficiency there. That'll have to probably be a next time thing. But anyway, now that problem is kind of solved a little bit. I know this like another one of those kind of comedy of errors things. But we do need more bricks. So I will heed the cries of those of you who have been begging me to just build another kiln already. Which actually I don't think anyone said that, but it's funnier if I say that. So where am I going to put this? See, this is the problem with this. Is I never really know where I want stuff to go. So, that can go there. Doesn't have to be powered. And bricks and charcoal. That's fine. Have we made any progress on getting stuff over here? Okay, so we do have bricks stored. That overhang is actually finished. It just has to be completed. And I know that's... Well, that's not what that means. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, I think we're at the point now where there's not really much else we can do except kind of just wait. So we can watch these guys take care of this stuff while we do our end of episode fun, as we always do. I really appreciate you sticking with the series. This is a lot of fun. And I know there's a lot going on right now. It's kind of like drinking through a fire hose, but we are getting things accomplished in meaningful and productive ways, smoothing things out, and we're going to be in a position pretty soon. Not immediately, but pretty soon to maybe think about doing some builds on other parts of the map, establishing different districts, or I guess other colonies completely separated if you even wanted to do that. And that's something a bunch of you asked for, and I think would be a fun thing to do. So, that's what we're going to be looking forward to. But, of course, beard boosters make it possible. Can't do it without them. Can't do it without your support as well, even if you're not part of that. But always want to make sure we acknowledge those folks for making it possible to continue doing the madness and funding replacement computer parts. Most of which I've already acquired. I think I said in one of the other videos, we've got a couple things left, and then that'll get built, and then we should be able to do some fun stuff. We'll see what happens. But I digress. We've got 5 days left in this drought. They're not going to quite finish this, which is fine. I don't need to drag it out. So whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back in this series on Wednesday. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.